What's going on, guys? It's Kyle Carroll from MyMMAnews.com and Carroll's Corner MMA podcast. Tonight, we are here with Caio Machado, who's looking to get to the UFC. You just had an opportunity for the Dana White's Contender Series, but that got pulled from you. I guess let's kind of get into that a little bit. Tell us a little bit about what happened with the Dana White Contender Series.
And we have a special guest today. That's my son, Leo. We're showing a very bad haircut that I try and fail. Showing that my place is in the octagon, not on the barbershop. And first of all, pleasure to meet you. Thanks for having me in the show. We got the opportunity for the Contender Series. Would be a very good opportunity, especially like with the fight that presented to us. Would be a very good matchup for me against Paulo Renato. He would be a smaller striker, set up perfectly my game. Unfortunately, we had some visa issues. My managers and my team, we're still working to figure out what was the reasoning to get this visa denied, but we haven't got any answer yet. But anyways, we had to pull off the fight. And to be fair with you, like, Contender Series is a great opportunity, but like I said many times that like I can fight anyone in the UFC right now. I'm a better athlete than the guys that are there right now. So, okay, we had a problem with the visa. Let's keep the Contender Series. There's no reason to wait another year. It's time to go straight to the big show.
Absolutely. So, for those who don't know you, I know you're from Brazil, and now you're currently living in Canada, correct?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I born and raised in Brazil. Moved here to Vancouver about 7 years ago, and now raising my family here, and since been training and competing here since. Yeah.
Awesome. Did you have a background growing up in sports? Obviously, athletic guy. You're a big guy, 6'4", 240 around there. Did you grow up playing sports? Tell us a little bit about your background.
Like I pretty much did a little bit of everything. As a kid, I competed on swimming, karate, judo. Of course, as being in Brazil, I played soccer. I did some basketball. I played some rugby in high school. Where I started BJJ very young. So I love sports since being a kid. Like I have the ADD like very badly. So sports was pretty much the only time I could like be focusing in something like for more than 30 seconds. And I used to love that. Since I was a kid, like being a professional athlete. Not sure which one it would be. It would be like dream. That would be like the perfect profession, and I'm following that right now. So can't stop this.
Absolutely, you're putting together an impressive professional record. You're 6-1-1, I believe, or 6-1.
6-1, yeah.
And tell us a little bit about your journey. Like you won your first fight, lost your second, and then you've been on a tear ever since. Tell us a little bit about your journey, like, and what you've learned through each fight.
So yeah, so my first fight actually was the draw I have. I think it was a major draw. I can't remember right now, but I got a punch to the duke to a knee to the groin that was non-existent. From my opinion, I fell. I heard the guys. I fell. I need the ribs. The guy was complaining. We rematch about like a year after. He tried to pull the same bullshit. The judge this time, the ref saw it and didn't call it. Then I got the knockout right away. There was we were having a problem with heavyweights in Canada. I got a chance to fight Dustin Johnson that now fights at one championship, and I ended up losing on a split decision. And since then, like I figured out that like to be able to do what I want to do, and I need to focus on cardio. I need to work more, and I need to work my whatever I was lacking. I always been a very decent grappler, a very good striker, but I had problems controlling the ground, working the cage, and I've been working beside cardio, beside being more athletic. I've been working about like controlling the wrestling, defensive and offensive, and that's where my game started changing. if you see that Johnson fight, I end up losing the decision because he ended up like holding me for 25 minutes against the cage, and I had like some hard time getting out of there. I end up using that as a weapon, even with my back against the cage. I'm very good to work my elbows and knees. I have 2 knockouts from that exalted position where I start wearing my opponent with knees to the body, and then I finish with punching. Like I've been just like and since then every fight I've been just like trying to unknowingly watching my fights, trying to think what I can improve, where I can do better, and since then like I've been in a row, I've been the best shape of my career. The Contender Series would be a great opportunity to get the UFC contract, but let's see, we'll be there soon.
Absolutely. Now, what do you like? You're saying you believe you belong in the UFC. You believe you're at that level. What do you believe is your advantage against the opponents in the heavyweight division in the UFC?
It's very simple. As every heavyweight, I have punching power to knock out. That's heavyweight 101. But the biggest difference for me, it's I have the athleticism and the cardio to punching, striking, grappling, wrestling for longer and with more intensity than probably 90% of the heavyweights right now. Like beside, I can by name I can say probably like Cyril Gunn, Tom Aspinall, maybe John Jones when he comes back, Stipe that has a better cardio. You see like guys wearing off and thumb out by the end of the first round. Like I'm finishing warming up by then.
You feel like you have to add weight or anything or lose weight? Like 240 is a pretty solid weight for the heavyweight. Do you feel like because you're at that weight, like it gives you that advantage over the smaller heavyweights and then over the heavier heavyweights, like you said, the stamina and stuff?
So just a little update. I fought at 240 last year, but right now I'm walking around 260, 258. Oh, okay. So was a process that I had to do to my body. I had a little bit extra fat, and so I cut it down. I went down all the way to 220, 218.
Wow.
To lean down, to clean myself. Then I started a workout program and like a new diet to bulking up and slowly getting back to 155, 160s to be able to keep up with the cardio and the mobility that I had around the 130, 140 mark, but adding some extra power so I can definitely like work more and with more volume than the heavier guys, but keep up, still having a lot of power behind my punches.
Awesome. Do you have anything lined up at the moment? Is there something? I know you guys are trying to get the visa and all that worked out, but is there a fight you're looking to try to get onto at the moment?
Like, I have nothing concrete yet. I've been still talking to my team. We are still tracking to the UFC, see what would be the options if there's a chance to maybe if we don't have to wait until next year's Contender Series and retry the visa. My team, we are trying to work in Rio. That would be amazing opportunity for me getting back home. I never got the chance to fight in Brazil, so that would be like a perfect homecoming fight for me. But nothing solid. It's still in the conversations. Either way, if nothing happens on the UFC side, I'm probably gonna get some fights down on this. Trying to get some fights down in the States. Maybe I might go back home for in Brazil at the end of the year, end up getting fighting over there. It's still kind of open up. I still hoping to get a chance in the UFC soon, but I want to keep active. I want to keep busy, and if it's possible, get a fight and get the ball rolling again. That's been too long.
Yeah. You don't want to be sitting around, not being active in the cage. Now, of your 6 wins, is there a win that like really stands out in your mind that you're most proud of? That maybe you had to overcome something, and is there anything that sticks out in those 6 wins?
I think I have two. I have 2 very special wins for me, and I believe is when I first got my the BFL title when I fought Dustin Dogi to a decision was when I was right after I lost, and I was with the mentality to like change like work my cardio and change how I would fight my style, get a little bit more testy and less long. So that fight, I fought to a T2 to get there, to wear my opponent out, to move, to get out of the way, tag my shots, keep and finding the distance, finding the rhythm that I needed to get it to be able to compete the way I wanted, and I got a decision. So I wanted to go to decision. I wanted to fight the way I fought, and that's when I realized, okay, I'm in control of the cage, and now I am good to go to the next level. I'm good to fight. I'm comfortable to fight anyone. Second is my knockout, my second last fight, my knockout against Christian Larson again when I defended my BFL title against the Unify champion. Mm-hmm. Was like pretty much a #1 spot at heavyweight in Canada outside of the big shows, and I waited for the fight, if I'm not wrong, 232, while Larson at the weigh-ins was at 265, probably 280 by fight night, and I just like got a massive knockout of a left hook stepping from southpaw to orthodox as he was coming into me. I just nicked the little short hook on the chin. He dropped right in front of me, and I hammer fist him on stand up while grabbing his chin, so he couldn't turn his head. So the thing, like being such a weight difference, a guy that fight the idea was again wearing down, gassing out before I started like developing more volume. But like the way that knockout show up, if you guys see that knockout on my Instagram or the BFL, that was beautiful. Just like he was coming with a hook, I just lean back, step to orthodox, and clip him. He'd like drop like a mountain.
I'm gonna have to find the clip and throw it in here later on so people could see what you're talking about. When you're not training and you're not fighting, mental health and physical health is very important to kind of get focused before you fight. What do you do for yourself to kind of realign everything and get everything back in order before your fights come or before you enter fight camp?
Like, I never stop training. First of all, I believe that the camp helps to prepare to the specific fight, to the specific style, but the everydays we're going to work on the small things. Get the small adjustments on my game. Brought my game overall. Like, learning more wrestling, learning more jiu-jitsu, learning more striking, finding technique here and there. Fight camps for a specific fight. So there's no off time for me. I'm always ready. I'm always in fight condition. And that's how I keep up with the mentality. Like I believe to be the best, to work where I want to be, I need to work harder than everyone else, and that's how I keep pushing. I have my family as a big support. My son Leo that you guys met. I have my fiance Gabby that's not here right now. They're a rock for me. They keep me up on the line, but like it's the focus that I have. Like if I want to be the best, I need to go back and work even when I'm tired, even if I don't wanna, even when I like wanna cry and just sit and watch TV and eat ice cream. I gotta show up and do whatever I gotta do to get better. By the way, sorry for the baby. He's
no, it's fine. No, it's fine. How important? Like you're talking about support from your fiance, your family, and stuff. How important is that? Like to have your child around, and when you're training and stuff. Like, how important is the family aspect and support? Because a lot of people I know kind of remove themselves from their family, travel to go train in a training camp, and obviously in focus. But you try to keep your family around you at all times.
100%. Like, unfortunately, due to moving to Canada, my parents, my brother, and my entire family come from a big family in Brazil, so everyone is back home. I don't have the direct contact with them every day, but especially like my son and my fiance, they beside like the fight night itself, the fight day, they're with me all the time. Like my fiance will be the person who will be with me if I have a home fight the night before. Come hear my bullshit because I'm too pumped up, and I'm kind of on my we joke that I'm on my period because I trigger very easily, not in a bad way, but everything kind of I get super hyper about everything. So she helps me to calm down. She helps me to focus on the everyday, like especially right now with Leo. He's very young. He can go to daycare yet. If I didn't have her to support and be with him and help take care of him, I couldn't be doing the amount of training I have to do. Like I'm trying to do this full time. I'm teaching and training. I'm at gym every day. If it weren't for her, that wouldn't be possible.
Absolutely, it's about that balance, right? Keeping everything in line. Now, tell us something about you that nobody knows, but you'd like to share. Something that you think kind of most people wouldn't know about you.
Ooh, that's a tough question. I was expecting something like that coming right now. I gotta think a second, but
could be anything. Doesn't have to be mixed martial arts related.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like very personal stuff. Like it's hard because I'm very simple guy. I keep stuff running open. I'm a very big nerd. Maybe that's it. Like I have a bunch of like Dragon Ball Z figurines and toys. Like just yesterday, I went to watch the new Dragon Ball Z movie with my buddies. Like we ended up getting like an empty session here in Vancouver. It was just literally like me and my two buddies that we've been watching all the Super series as released, and we've been following Dragon Ball by ourselves. So we got to go by the theater by ourselves, and we was pretty much like us in the couch, but like with a huge screen and chatting about the movie, having fun. Like that's my thing. Like I'm a nerd. I love Dragon Ball. I think it's one of the things that probably got me to martial arts, like deep down, because used to watch the martial arts tournament and all that kind of stuff. Like I love that.
That's awesome. So you're a bit of a collecting. You said like the toys and stuff and whatnot.
Little bit of collector. Okay. It's a little bit there in the corner. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, right there.
Okay.
You have a couple of stuff that's all my wife let me keep on here. I have a bunch of stuff that I have to put in storage because she likes to keep the house pretty, and toys are
they're not exactly the best decor, yes. according to women, right?
Yes. We have mixed opinions about that, but I got to keep one shelf for myself, and they're right up there.
Awesome. If there's someone you could fight in the UFC right now, they say Dana White calls you up, like, hey, we're gonna put you on this fight card. You get to pick who you want to fight. Who are you fighting?
Give me the champ.
I like it. Nice.
Like, easiest, fastest way to get the belt is finding the champ. Like, I'm not afraid to find anyone. Of course, there's levels to the game. Francis is one of the guys who are in the top of the sport. But there's a way to. No one is unbeatable. There's a way. I think I have. If I find my best fight, I can beat this guy. I can beat him. I have the full work. I have the head movement to avoid his punch, and if I can do that for long enough, I can do this. It would be a hard fight for sure, but why not?
John Jones looking to come up, looking to fight. I think Stipe Miocic. Thoughts on him? Do you really think he's going to be able to be successful in the heavyweight division?
Okay, we're gonna have to repeat the question. The kid just
no, that's fine. John Jones coming up to the heavyweight division. Do you think he's going to be as successful in the heavyweights as he was in 205?
like I believe he will, just because he's just like a phenomenal athlete. Like you could see, his physicality, the way he moves. He's one of the best who ever done it. Like athletic speaking, he has the length, he has the height, he has the power behind him, he has the technique. The problem would be doing a transition, putting 60 pounds on you will change how you move, it will change your cardio, and that's where he might have some problems. Would be translating that either keep up with the movement and the cardio at the same time. Like maybe he can keep the movement for a while, but not as long as he used to do, or he's gonna get power but slower. I believe he can do that and fight in the best. I believe he will be the champ by whenever he fights Francis. I see he having more tools to do that, but it's I don't know. And beside with Jones, we never know what's going to happen when he's actually fighting.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. How can people find you on social media and check you out? Like if you have YouTube or Instagram?
If you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Are you done? At Bigfoot Machado _ MMA. My Twitter is at Bigfoot Machado. If you want to check out my OnlyFans, it's on my Instagram handle. I have, because my nickname is Bigfoot. Give me a second. Hey, that's not for you. That's been too loud. Sorry for this.
No, it's fine.
Because of my nickname is Bigfoot, I've been receiving a lot of requests to sell my foot photos or selling old shoes and all sort of stuff related. So I end up open up OnlyFans to have a platform so these people can purchase it and like see what they want to see, and I can make some extra buck because it's not easy to live with fighting.
No, that's definitely is that something that one like fighter pay is kind of like, especially isn't where most fighters want it to be. And then the other thing I guess would be like CTE. Does that ever scare you? Like that might say too many shots to the head down the road in your life. Does that ever like come to mind at all?
Okay, for one question by a time. Fighter pay. I believe the problem with that it's the supply and demand. Like the problem right now. There's one big league with a lot of influence and a lot of power. That's the UFC. That has they have monopoly on MMA right now. They're gonna control how much people gonna make, and that's unfortunately it's part of the world we live right now. Like there's no one else willing to pay me more than they are paying. Why would they pay me more? Unfortunately, that's how it works. As an athlete myself, I wanted to work more. I wanted to speak with the press and be able to show myself, to get my money from the promotion, from my sponsors, and keep the ball rolling. But MMA is it's a young sport. It has 26, 27 years. It's gonna change in ways we don't know how yet. So it will get better with time. Just like it's so new. If you think about like soccer, basketball, even boxing has been there for so many times. People are talking, people get evolving. There's more money every day. It's getting more money around the MMA too. So it's just a matter of time. Just like we just got to keep doing our stuff. And CTs, it's bad. I'm scared of it. That's why I try to make my game a counter-striking game where I don't want to get shot. I try to avoid getting punched. try to move out of the way, work a lot of head movement to avoid as much. We don't do as much hard sparring in the gym, especially when we're not on camp. And probably do like one session a week of hard sparring, mostly. Well, I think right now, if I'm not wrong, I'm doing one session of sparring a week at all.
Okay.
So any minor concussions, any minor headaches, we give a break. Like we are trying to prevent, at least where I am right now, we are trying to prevent as much as we can. But unfortunately, that's life. That's the sport we choose. And if it happens, hopefully my wife stays with me.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on and chatting. Anyone you want to recognize and any sponsors you want to shout out to?
Oh, yeah. First of all, Gabby and Leo, thanks for being my family and my rock. Everyone at FKP MMA, my coach, Chris Franco, my main training partner, Jaden Martin, and everyone else at FKP MMA that since I got here received me as a family. Also, my management team, first round management, nutritionist Rodolfo Zanin, my media team, Foreign Media Brazil, and my sponsors, Driving Marketing Group, DLM, Strike Recovery, Best Meals YVR, and that's it. And thanks to you to having me on the show.
I appreciate coming on, Caio Machado. For those who want to check out his knockouts, go follow him on Instagram. Caio, I appreciate coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope to see you in the UFC one day soon, and best of luck.
Thank you.
This is Carol's Corner MMA Podcast, and we're signing off.